Hey guys, how's it going? It's March 1st, 2019. Just wanted to give you a quick update on where I'm at, what's happening, where my head's at. Yeah, it's just one of those things. I was just checking my email at work just to see what was going on. I would have done this sooner. Okay, so I've got about 10 minutes before my son comes back down from upstairs. So I had 10 minutes. I didn't know what to do with my 10 minutes, so I figured, yeah, might as well reach out to you guys, let you know what's going on. As far as Run 8 goes, I basically, I guess we've been playing tag, Scott and I, as far as when he's available or I'm available or whatever. I'm not too sure how interested he is still into it, if he's lost interest. I can't speak for him. But for me personally, I've been very open about it and saying that basically my interest, I haven't missed it. And this is not the first time it's happened, unfortunately. I've spent quite a bit of time this week reflecting on a lot of things, but basically being bored out of my mind. And even right now, like when I have an hour to myself, I just get some of my odd ends done and take care of emails, take care of a few personal things. But other than that, most of my spare time is trying to find myself. Now, there was I believe the last video I was talking about that there might be development with RTS 2. I said might, and I did talk to my son about it. He's not interested. Because he's not interested, he's basically the only driving factor. Yeah, it's great that other people are interested, but it isn't enough to drive me, considering the fact that I barely use Run 8 as it is now. So at this point, I don't see that happening. I'm also personally not in a mood to program. I never really have been. Back when I programmed RTS, it was a lot different. There was a lot of interest in Run 8. It was new. It was fresh. Updates were constantly happening, so everything was new. Everything would get me inspired to put on a service for people, and there was a lot of community involved. There was a lot of things going on. I have let a lot of that slip over probably the past couple of years, and I think it's been waiting to see what happened. When version 2 came out, there was a lot that I liked about it. There was a lot that was cool about it, and then there was a lot that just was waiting for the next update that that really never came. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been updates, but not nearly as ferocious as was happening in version 1. And it's understandable, but apparently version 3 is under development. They have their reasons, they have their health issues, they have everything else that they have to deal with, and they're human, just like I am. And because of that, I'm human, and I have needs, I have wants, desires, so it hasn't been, I've had a couple people ask about it, and it's just not, at this point, really a priority of mine. Now, what my son is interested in is some of my projects as far as RTS Yardmaster, RTS Dispatcher. He's even interested in that. He's much more interested in that than to do anything that would be to develop a second versions to make it compatible with version 2. The fact of the matter is, and although I have said that I may do this, we still don't know what the hell's going on with version 3. Let's face it. We don't. And I don't care if it's under development or not. We're into March now. It's one thing for me to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to start developing something in February. I haven't made $1 on what I do. I've never tried to sell anything. I've never really tried that hard to try to market what I do. So I don't really have a customer base. I have people who enjoy maybe what I've done. And quite frankly, there have been people who were going to develop stuff based on RTS. They were going to develop their own. I can't even think of the names of people who I gave permission. If they didn't really need permission, but to basically use what I did and develop their own stuff or whatever. It's never come around. I mean, then you have others who haven't sold their first copy, but supposedly is in beta and external dispatchers and all this other stuff. It's not happened. And yet, Microsoft Train Simulator community, from what I understand, is dead. Or it's dying. Maybe it's not dead, but it's dying. I've heard a lot of rumors about that. So I'm really at a point where it's really, I'm kind of like in a, first of all, I mean, my career is fine. Obviously I've had some issues with my son with health and everything. That's priority number one, but it doesn't really affect my personal life that much. So I certainly could use an escape. And there's been times where I've been basically, how do I say? I bought a program tonight for my son and I, Dawn of Man it's called. Now we've had a lot of different programs, but there's different things that we've bought. And I think he's coming down right now, actually. But I'll let you hear him. He'll be coughing when he comes down. He won't be coughing. He'll be saying "ow," I should say. He hasn't been coughing for a while. So I'll let him try to explain a little bit. I think he's moving up there. But anyways, yeah. So it's just like 10 o'clock right now. So yeah, he should be down anytime. But yeah, it's one of those things where he's the only one that can drive me to do anything at the moment. As much as I want to help others and I appreciate the support of others, they're not the ones that are going to drive me to do this. What drove me to do it before was when I had a server. And I like creating things. I like automating things, and I had a server to run, so automating things and being able to run a system to do things was much more. Now, if there was, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, there's stuff in Run 8 that does certain things. I mean, what Scott and I have been doing has actually been somewhat interesting and somewhat fun, but I don't have my heart necessarily into it because I don't know when the server is going to be on or off. There's times where I just have 30 minutes or 45 minutes and that's it. In fact, I think it was last night I was bored. I ended up going to bed and the server was off. And that's no criticism of Scott or whatever. He can only put up the server when he wants to as well. Here comes Owie.
Love you. Hello.
Hello. I'm doing a live stream, dude.
Cool.
Cool? Gonna make it? Limpy? Made it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I was talking about RTS.
Hmm?
I was talking about RTS.
Yep.
So you said you're not interested in that programming, right?
I'm not interested in programming something for
Run 8.
Run 8 now.
No. Well, there you go. So that's the whole thing. But you said you were interested in that Yardmaster idea.
Yes,
though.
I am interested.
You still interested in that?
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. So, but again, as far as what with me, what I was saying, I was just basically saying that I haven't been doing Run 8 as much, but more concerned about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You getting any better?
No, not noticeably.
Not noticeably. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's another story for another time. But oh, I just noticed the Dawn of Man symbol up there.
Yeah, I noticed it before.
I didn't. I'm getting so many freaking icons. I'm gonna run out of space pretty soon.
Yeah.
All these distractions, but yeah, we haven't been spending that much money. We certainly aren't. Looks like we're not going on any trips in March, but anyways. But yeah, so definitely, I mean, money's not an incentive either for me right now. So programming something like the RTS Yardmaster that I'm talking about, I think the way things are, I really think there's certainly a good market out there for a trained program, a good one. I certainly think there's a market for competition. But as far as a 3D simulator, I'm not even nearly as qualified to try that. So the 2D side, yeah, I guess that's something that we'll try if we're bored, I guess. But that's up to you, Emmett. That's something that you're going to have to get me involved with.
Yep.
So, not putting you on a spot or anything.
Nice.
You know, you don't want to do that, you want to have fun, then we have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where I'm at right now. I'm not interested in necessarily developing anything right now for the moment. I know I said I was going to do something in February, but it hasn't really happened. March has come, so we're in March now, and I really haven't developed anything yet.
Oh yeah, today is March 1st or something.
It is March 1st. Yeah, so... But as far as I know, we're going back to playing games here, right?
Yep.
So how bad do you want to program?
I do want to program. I can't say, I can't necessarily state how bad. I don't know how to scale that.
But you like games better than programming?
Yeah.
So do I, see. Yeah, programming for me is something that I used to do out of a kind of a necessity, out of a hobby. When Run 8 was in its beginnings, that, you know, and having a server, that was a lot different, because managing a server and trying to get the car loads to move and tagged and all that other stuff, it was very beneficial to have something that created waybills, created trains. But with version 2, it's, yes, it can still do it, and I can certainly do it if I was interested, but I don't even have a network that works very well right now. With this internet, well, it'll go down quite a bit. Does your internet go down upstairs still?
Every once in a while, not very often.
Not very often, yeah. I think it has to do with the stupid Wi-Fi. But it's just the way the Wi-Fi is working, so.
Certainly didn't go down as much as you were at one point.
No, well, I'm further down. I'm further away from the router, so.
Yeah.
Even though I have a pretty good connection most of the time. So. Yeah, but that's about it. I think, I don't think there's too much more to say about that. You just want to start playing something, we can do that.
Yeah.
Alright. Sounds good. So anyways, I thought that would be the, that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, my son's still alive. You relatively happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but sore. Do you miss being outside? Do you miss school?
Definitely.
Oh, you miss school too?
Yeah, I miss school.
Wow. Yeah.
I did not think I was going to say that, but I did.
Yeah, well, you got to get better. So you got physiotherapy on Monday, so hopefully. He's been out. Well, you've been out for 6 weeks now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So.
Injuries suck. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They got to figure out what the hell's wrong with you first. Which they really haven't, other than muscles. I don't buy that.
I still think it is.
You still think it is, huh? You think you're actually getting better?
It's just a tier 2 muscle.
I don't mind that tier 2 crap. Don't worry about what Google says. You need a doctor that can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether they say it's a tier 2 or whatever, they need to do more work on that or figure out. So, see about physiotherapy and see what they can get out of you. And you can try going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. We'll see. Might have to do 1 hour a day or something. You can barely walk, let alone do that, but we'll figure it out. Okay, guys, that's it for now. We're going to go play some games. So, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. And yeah, Sunday, who knows if we're in the mood. I'm usually bored on Sundays, so I'm certainly, if Scott's running it later in the evening, I'll certainly do a live stream with Run 8. That's not a problem, but other than that, that's about all the Run 8 I do, really. So it's just one of those things. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Sorry if that sounds depressing, but have a good weekend. See ya.
Bye.